Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Gardening with Creations by DX. Today I'm going to show you how we can germinate seeds a bit faster. What I've got here is an apple and two pear cores. So what I'm going to do is cut the seeds out of each of those, and then we are going to need paper towel for this project, as well as some sandwich baggies and a highlighter. Or a permanent marker, I should say. So with that, we're gonna start by, what I like to do is actually cut kind of the core of the apple out. That way you can see I've got where the seeds would be in the seed pod itself. So we can just set those other ones aside. I find this best to try, you really want to try to avoid damaging those seeds. So I find it best to use your fingers and just kind of pry that apart. You're really trying to get into the inside there and get those seeds out. Now these are the Pink Lady apples that I'm doing today. What I'm trying to do is make it go a little bit faster germination process. What I mean by that is them sprouting roots a little bit faster so we can then replant them. Now, funny enough, these Pink Ladies I got from the store actually are already starting to germinate themselves inside the apple. You can't really see it on this one. I found some other ones that already started to take root. And what that means is basically, as you know, the root comes right out of the seed itself. It's really hard to see in that picture and hard to hold because here's a fresh apple that was just cut today and it's a little slippery. See if I can get really close to the camera lens there, get it to focus. Can't really get it to focus quite on the seed the way that I would like it to. But you can see that little white tip there is the root already coming out. That's okay. I'm still going to try to germinate them and get that root to grow a little bit longer before I plant them itself. But I want to show you guys the trick on that today. So I'm going to go ahead and set these apple seeds aside while I go ahead and get my pear seeds out. And what we're looking to do is for these to develop a root ahead of time so that we can plant them. So what I'm going to do here is get these seeds out. Now, not every seed that comes out is going to be a viable seed, unfortunately. Sometimes the seeds that come out of these are just bad seeds.
And were already cut.
All right, so most of these seeds look pretty bad that I'm pulling out now. Show you the difference here. That's almost like the apple seed, nice round and plump on that one, but the rest of these that I pulled out are very thin, very small type of seed, and I get that a lot with the pears. So I'm still going to use them just to see if they sprout anything, but I don't believe that they're going to be viable seeds for us to use. So I'm going to move on to the last pair here, and then I'll show you how we're going to get this done. Okay, we're back. I got those last few seeds out. So as you can see here on my cutting board, I've got my pear seeds and then I've got my apple seeds. All right. So what we want to do is start by taking our sandwich baggie here and our marker, and we want to label what these are going to be. Trust me, it's a lot easier to label them while they're out of the bag than when everything's all in the bag. So I'm going to say Pink Lady apples. It's actually really good to mark the date. So today's date, I'm going to go ahead and mark on there, and that way you know when you started this project with these, so you can kind of gauge in the future how long or how little time they need. And you want to check in on these usually every 4 to 5 days. I like to go about 5 days and checking in on those. So I'm going to set my Pink Lady apple bag aside, and these are green pears. I don't know the variety, unfortunately, but I'm just going to label them a green pear. And I'm going to go ahead and mark today's date again on here so I know. And what I like to do here is, now what you want to do is go ahead and take your water bottle, spray down this napkin so it's nice and wet. And use warm water if you can, because you want to create a humidity and moisture inside this towel, inside the paper bag. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm taking my apple seeds and I'm just laying them a couple inches apart inside of the napkin here. And then you're going to fold your napkin in half over top of those seeds. So now the seeds are actually sandwiched in between that napkin. Go ahead and wet that down some more. Get it nice and wet because you want this to hold. So I'm going to take my sandwich baggie here and I'm going to try to fit this inside that sandwich baggie. Now you'll notice, since you got it nice and wet, that the seeds themselves don't really move around inside there, but I like to try to untuck my corners, kind of get it nice and flat as possible. Now a lot of people ask at this stage of the game, you know, do I suck out all the air? What do I do? I give it one good squirt while it's in the bag there, and then just seal it up. You actually want there to be air left inside that bag. So when you're done with it, you can see, okay, there's still air left inside that bag. It's nice and zip-locked closed, and that's what it looks like. Pink Lady apples. You can see the seeds right inside of there. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here with my pear seeds. The towel wet. Now again, I don't know how many of these are going to germinate. Your expectation is that you're not going to get them all to germinate. If they all do, that's wonderful. But that's why I would use just as many as you have available. Now you can do this with seeds that you get from a seed packet if you're looking to get them jump started a little bit quicker. This is a great way to do that. But I find this works best with fresh seeds. If you don't have pods and you want to go directly into like a plant box or something like that, it's a good way to go about it. So my pear seeds there, you can see all tucked inside that napkin. And what's going to happen is in a couple of weeks, so usually about 2 weeks, you'll start to see the roots really starting to grow out. And you can check on them. You'll start to see the stringiness in there, and I will show you in a couple of weeks. We'll do another video on what that looks like before we transplant them into some potting soil, or with these ones, I think the trees, I'm going to try to go direct into a pot because I'd like to grow out these trees in a pot for a couple of years before putting them in ground. So that's that. Let's get it sealed up. Now, storage. A lot of people want to know, where do you store these type of things? These are things that you store specifically in a dark, cool place. All right, these are not things that I noticed I forgot to spray these. They're not things that you want to store in the light or get under grow lamps just yet. You actually want these to be in a warm, dark place. So where I store these things actually is underneath my kitchen sink. It's dark down there. It stays nice and warm. It's not a place that I have to worry too much about. Nobody can get to them. So I just take them, both bags just like this, throw them underneath the kitchen sink, and I know they're out of sight, out of mind. I check back in them every couple of weeks. So tell me what you guys are looking to start this way. How do you want to get germinated in the comments below? Again, this is Gardening with Creations with GX. If you like this video, share it out, subscribe, give us a like. Thanks a lot.